Turn them up.
Yeah, that'll work too. I'm just saying. See, everything's going crazy today. It's all haywire.
I tell you what's up with this?
I don't know, man. I've been trying to get everything working. It's just been dragging, man. Can't get it going. But anyway, we're here regardless.
Because it's cold this morning.
I know, right?
Man, and I tell you what, we better be liking this last little bit of cold. Because you know what's coming.
We're going to complain on it, and then what's going to happen?
I ain't going to complain on it. No. I like the weather.
Yeah, exactly. It's good
really
stuff, man.
Yes, sir.
Looked about, 62 yesterday?
Yeah.
Going to be about 67 today. Winds are going to remain out of the north. That is the key to the temperature today. Right. They're going to stay out of the north at about 10 to 20, 25 mile, 45 mile an hour, depending on what it feels like to do. You know, it's going to be high winds out of the north. So that's going to chill you down just a little bit. And then tonight, overnight low will drop you down about 35 degrees. And then tomorrow, 67 degrees. Winds will stay out of the north, but they're going to be a little less, probably 5 to 10, which is about average. You know,
what's it going to be Sunday and Monday?
Sunday and Monday. We're not going to be here.
I know.
Sunday and Monday. I don't know what's going to be. It is going to be cooler.
Cooler?
I don't know. Monday, looking at 70 degrees and 76 on Sunday. Now, that's here in Ballinger. Now, if you want to look at Arlington, that's a little bit of a different situation. It's going to be 72 on Sunday and 68 on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Still beautiful weather.
Yes, sir.
Beautiful weather coming through. I mean, some overnight lows, like I said, tonight and stuff, a little cooler than, right above freezing. But, hey, it's still a good, beautiful day. Get out there and do your thing. Enjoy your spring break.
Hey, this
beautiful weather all across Texas.
This is the time of year you need to be trimming up that brush around the house that's still brown. Because here shortly it's going to be green.
Yeah, you better get after it. Spring cleaning on the inside and out.
That's right. Outside around the house.
Outside around the house.
Get you some Roundup or something. Spray some weeds or something. Take care of them bugs and critters. And spray everything.
Get it all done.
That's right.
Well, what's going on this morning, man? I mean, what do we have happening around us? We have an event. We have an event going on at the hall. Yeah. In Rowena. That's going to be fun. I mean, obviously, we're biased to that, or I am anyway.
Yeah.
But it's going to be Case Harden. He's going to be making his triumphant return to the stage in Rowena. We had Case Harden here in the studio. Were you here for that one, Landy?
No.
He's nice, great, young.
No, he came in that afternoon.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he came in the afternoon spot.
Right.
He, great young talent.
Right.
You know, he stepped for a minute. He's coming back now in full force, and he's ready to get out there and play some dancing country music.
Yeah.
And I guess that's what we could just all use a little bit more of. A little dancing country music. So we're excited about that. And it's going to be a great time because, it's old dance hall, man. We'll kick the dust up, shine the floor. Got a little mixture on the floor to get the dancing done.
Right.
And we're just it's a good time had by all, and there's tables available still yet for reservations. It'll cost you $12 to get in, $10 for if you want to bring you something full of adult beverages to drink. We don't sell the alcohol out there yet, so
right.
You gotta bring it that way.
Right.
Anyway, that's happening, man. So I mean, we have all kinds of stuff just trying to go on in the area. I know we have a handful of items coming through the news. You need to check that out. You can you hear the news here at the 8 o'clock hour as well, 8:40 about some events happening here in the Ballinger area. So again, it's fun. It's gonna be a lot of good stuff happening now.
Right.
Speaking of fun and a lot of good stuff, I feel like Ballinger is a friendly town.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, everybody get a little sideways sometimes, but overall,
pretty much everybody talks to everybody and so on and so forth,
Yeah, friendly town, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like it's friendly town.
Yeah.
Now, where do we rank on the list of friendliest cities? We're not on it.
You think? Because they didn't even see the sign that said Ballinger city limits when they drove through.
No, they didn't.
Right through.
Ballinger Township. No, it's city. We should be on the list.
Yeah.
So anyway,
we are a city.
Now, there could be a niche out there. You know what might be a fun road trip?
A niche.
A niche.
Oh.
There's a niche out there too. You do a lot of things.
Yeah.
You itchy trigger finger. Itchy after a haircut.
That's right.
That's right. Or a trip to Mexico, but either way,
or a trip to the border.
It's just whatever it is.
To watch the influx of Immigrants.
Well, I tell you what, man, and
Illegal aliens.
we'll talk about friendly because what Tejas means friends.
That's right.
And welcome to Texas, right?
That's right.
But I'm gonna go through this, and then let's talk a little bit on what you just mentioned. You know, Expedia, who's a travel service, they help you out on the interwebs. Right. They just put out a list of the friendliest cities in the country. So you want to plan a road trip where Uncle Jethro talks to you on the side of the road walking down the street? There you go. You can do it. Now, if you walk by Hutchins on Hutchins and 8th right there, old Doc Casey will holler at you. It don't matter what you look like, who you is, or how old or young you are.
That's right.
You know, he'd say, hey.
Love will get hollered at.
Yeah, there you go. It ain't nothing better in this world than getting hollered at.
That's right.
That's a southern thing. Holler at me later.
Yeah.
Holler. All right, anyway, but they've been listed as the friendliest cities in the country. It's basically all based on how often people use the word friendly or friendliest in their reviews of the city. So pretty much just isolated to Expedia users and Expedia users who leave reviews. Here are the top 5. Number 5, Lauai, Hawaii. Hola. Means hello, goodbye, and all that good stuff in one thing, right?
Aloha.
No, I say hola. I say hola.
Dude, this is Texas. Say hola in Texas.
Same thing.
Aloha in
Same thing.
Hawaii.
Yeah, whatever. It's just I just moved around the letters and whatnot.
That's right. This ain't one of them spelling things.
Welcome. That's why you know you're from Texas, man. You messing everything up with Spanish.
That's right.
All right. Easton, Maryland.
Eastern,
Maryland. Never been there.
Don't know where that is.
Don't know where it is.
I know it's in Maryland.
And nothing wrong with it. Just don't know where it's at.
That's
Yeah,
right.
It's in
never
Maryland.
been there.
Yeah.
Road trip.
Manitou Springs, Colorado.
Huh.
Sister Bay, Wisconsin. And finally, number 1, Whitefish, Montana. Now,
Whitefish, Montana.
that's
Whitefish,
Yeah.
Montana. They catch whitefish in Montana?
I don't know. What's whitefish? Pollock?
I don't know.
No, I don't know either. But I mean, it's the friendliest town according to Expedia.
Okay.
And the 14 people who left reviews.
And 14.
How many people actually leave reviews? You actually ever left a review on a product?
Yeah, I leave reviews on stuff that I buy all the time, but I'm a gearhead, dude. Other gearheads need to know.
Need to know. Right.
That's right.
I understand that.
That's right.
He
It's
needs
taking
to know.
care of your own.
Exactly.
It's like, don't buy this part because you got to file a one edge off of it to make it fit.
I was going to say you could do a Bad Daddy road trip with this list, but you really, I mean, you're talking about some miles.
It'd be a big road trip.
Because getting to Hawaii going to be a little rough.
Buddy, there ain't no bridge to Hawaii.
Yeah. Getting to Hawaii going to be a little rough.
Yeah, what if Freestyle get the permit on that?
What's that?
Building a bridge to Hawaii.
Yeah.
They
They've been government contract. Aren't they running short on the government contracts nowadays?
I don't know.
Temporary contracts.
I tell you what, they putting a whoop on that bridge over there in Angelo.
Well, they've got all kinds of time and material because they stopped building that border wall.
Oh, that's right.
So
I forgot
you
about
were
that.
mentioning and it is a full blown crisis. And what I don't understand is that you don't hear about it much,
right?
Especially from the top dogs.
No, the big media's pushing it out there, but there's like lines.
I mean, Fox News is, but that's it.
There are lines at the border of people trying to get
lines. We're talking. What do they say?
And then we had some dribbling idiot. I was listening to this on the radio this morning. There's some dribbling idiot says, "Oh well, you know, what they're doing is they're interrogating these youngins that's coming across the border." Well, hello. Don't you want to find out whether the person that they're with is really their parent?
Well, they're not doing DNA match, and that was part of Trump's policies beforehand.
Right.
They would do it. You have to stay.
Yeah.
And they're not doing it now. Granted, yes. Here's what's happening. Joe Biden basically said, if you got a child, you can push them on through, and it's all be all good.
Yeah.
That's what's happening. Parents are basically getting to the border and saying, all right, go ahead, and they're sending their children over unaccompanied.
Right.
Now, a lot of those though aren't who you think they are.
Right.
Or the children are, but people who are dismissing them are not. That is why a DNA match was implemented during the administration.
Right.
So that you can tell that's actually that's T.O. Juan.
Right.
And not the Coyote Joe.
Right.
What do you guys say? 11 million a day?
11 million a day.
11 million a day.
Dollars.
Yeah. $11 million.
They charging people $7,000 a head to cross the border.
And the cartels are making
wait.
$11 million a day.
They're charging them on that side?
The cartels are.
Well, we need to be charging the cartels for bringing them across.
One of my issues that, well, we can't go on. We can't, no. The cartels are sending trafficked human beings.
Right, but what I'm saying is we need to charge them.
The only thing we need to charge cartels with is the use of ammunition. We're going to take the cartels out.
Yeah.
They are horrible, evil people.
Yeah.
The cartels, not the ones coming over.
Right.
The cartels, the
Right.
coyotes, the ones who are exploiting the children in Mexico and Guatemala and everywhere else.
That's right. $7,000 a head. You know,
estimated $11 million a day
right.
in trafficking, child trafficking. That's Joe Biden's legacy right there.
There you go, Joe. Hey, Joe, when are you going to retire?
Like 3.5 more years. Or 3 and
10, 15 minutes?
3 and 5, a long time from now.
He needs to sign one more executive order, undo everything that he signed, because he sure got this thing in a mess.
Well, what kills me is when they interview or whenever they ask questions of Jennifer Psaki, the press secretary.
Oh, redhead?
She blames it on Trump, bro.
Well, I blame it on her poor reading.
And here's what's funny is, like, nobody but one reporter even questions it. They go, oh, yeah, that was Trump. That was Trump. No. Trump built a border wall.
Yeah.
Trump set up asylum. If you wanted to have it, you've got to stay in Mexico to get it.
Right.
You can't just come to America, get your paperwork, and mail it out, 6 to 8 weeks later.
Right.
It's never going to get mailed.
Yeah,
You'll never show up to the court date.
You come up with a child, you have to be DNA matched. And I mean,
no more.
And they had that pretty speedily too, because it was taking 5 days, 3 to 5 days.
Yeah. And the question has been around, well, what do you want to do with the children? What are we supposed to do with the children?
Yeah.
I don't know, but what you're doing is you're overwhelming a broken system already in regards to homeless children.
Right.
We don't know who these children are. We don't know what they're bringing into our country.
We don't know where they've been.
We
don't know if they've had vaccination shots.
We are such a country of hypocrisy, Landy, where it's like, it's funny to me because you're like, can't go to school. You better get your vaccine. You're fixing to have an identification card if you don't get your vaccine. You don't get your vaccine, then what we're going to do is we're going to shame you, and we're going to give you a little card that says that you don't have it, and you can't go to the movies. You can't go to the mall. You can't go to church. You can't go wherever. But by golly, we'll let 7,000 people a day in the border, untested. I'm talking all folks, not just children. Untested, no documentation, nothing, and just release them. And then we put them on buses, and we bus them to various states across the United States. Why? To help relieve the burden on the Texas side. One of the big components that Biden was mentioning when he walked in the door to do all this immigration issues, which, by the way, he has not been to the border. Also, the Department of Homeland Security is not allowing ride-alongs with reporters at the border, or photos in certain areas are being denied.
Oh, so now in the country of the United States of America, you can't take a picture?
Not at the border, not of certain facilities. You cannot. They're only pointing you.
That's a violation of your rights according to the Bill of Rights.
They're only pointing you in the direction that they want to point you in. That way, they have all this under control. Remember, show them what they need to see, but don't show them what's really happening.
Right. We only want you to see what we only want you to see.
And then Jennifer Psaki comes out and says, well, that's the Department of Homeland Security. We can't do nothing about it. You're the president.
Put some pants on.
Make a phone call, bigot. Pick the phone up and say, hey, man, Mr. Head of the Department of Homeland Security, would you let reporters take pictures of anything they want?
Right.
As long as innocent people are blurred out because you don't want, children's faces and stuff out there. That just out of respect for the privacy. But, just take photo. That's the problem they're having.
Right.
The borders in Texas are wide open. And so, get back to what I said about Biden, man, is he said that one of the primary reasons to remove the horrible restrictions, especially that remain in Mexico. Now, get this. This is funny. You're talking about hypocrisy once again.
Yeah, especially when he says, especially remain in Mexico.
Yeah, he removed that policy. And he says one of the reasons he removed it was because of this. The strain on Mexican border towns was too much to bear for Mexico. So he removed it. That's great.
Yo, dude, what about the United States of America? What about the United States of America, you dribbling idiot? He's a dribbling idiot.
So let's take,
I mean,
literally, like wiping the feet.
Dude, I'm talking about the man.
Did you? Yeah.
Whoever wrote that for him to say, they are trying to destroy this country. People, wake up. Okay? They're trying to destroy this people and the infrastructure of this country from within so they can take over. You can't see that?
There is more money and power to be made and had in a country that is divided.
Right. Okay? And here's the thing. Everybody goes, oh, we need socialism. We need socialism. What you don't understand about socialism, there's two kinds of people. There's the ones at the top, and there's only a few, like maybe 8 or 9. Okay? And then there's us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And all of us is going to be working for that 8 or 9. And what you don't understand is that 8 or 9 are going to be telling you what to do. They're going to tell you where to work. They're going to tell you where to live. They're going to tell you. They're going to tell you to walk to work.
It's a company store.
That's right. They're going to tell you to walk to work because there ain't going to be no gasoline. They're going to tell you not to drive anything because there ain't going to be no cars. Because if there's no cars and there's no gasoline, then people can't go and do what they want to do when they want to do it, right?
Right.
So then you got to do what they tell you to do. And you're going to go have to eat where they tell you to eat. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
It ain't going to be a pretty deal. And what people in this United States of America don't understand, that dribbling idiot that's up there in that White House.
Sniffy Joe.
Yeah, old Sniffy Joe and Camel Hair, they could give 2 rats you know what about us. They don't care about us.
Especially folks in our area.
They're on the other side of the plate. You know what I'm saying? They are on the other side of the plate. Them people think they're untouchable. They think they can do whatever they want to. What they're fixing to do is they're fixing to get this country stirred up, and they're fixing to see something that they ain't going to want to see, and I don't want to go through.
Ain't seen it since 1776.
I don't want to go through it because I don't want to deal with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the consequences of war are too much to handle.
It's unnecessary aggravation, and that's all they're doing. They're up there shaking the jar with a bunch of us ants in that jar trying to keep us fighting at each other so we don't be watching what they're doing. Pay attention, people. These people up there, they're not right. They're evil. They're not right. They need to be taken out of office.
And that goes for both sides.
That's right. The ones up there voting for them and the ones up there voting with them, you might as well get your car or put them in handcuffs too, drag them out, give them some other job somewhere else because they're not taking care of the job that they were voted to take care of.
When you sit there and you say to your American people that the reason you rescinded a policy was because it put too much stress on a foreign country, but in turn puts massive amounts of stress on cities in the United States that are already impoverished. These border towns.
That's what I'm talking about.
$20,000 a year median income.
Right.
That is like $10,000 below the poverty level.
Right.
That's what's worse poverty. You're taking all of that and you're putting those stresses
on us,
on Americans.
Right. And then there's some people say, oh well, you know, he's trying to do good for the United States. He's not trying to do good for us. He's trying to put money in his pocket. Somebody is paying that dude to do what he's doing.
Absolutely.
Because I ain't never heard that motor joker giving a check away, his paycheck away. Have you?
40-something years in Congress, and he is a multi-millionaire.
Yeah, I wonder how he made all that money because it sure wasn't off his paycheck.
Don't understand it.
Yeah.
You know, and so when are people going to wake up that, again, I'll say it again, they want us divided.
That's right.
I was telling you earlier, I watched a handful of videos from a guy named Tom McDonald. Now, I'm not a rap guy, okay?
First off, I can't talk that fast.
No, I cannot. Well, I can, but it don't make no sense.
Yeah.
I go boomhauer on you.
Yeah.
A little country, call me Jelly Roll. But anyway, I'm not a rap guy. I mean, some of the old school rap I grew up listening to, I still have a place for it because that's just what I grew up listening. New stuff, don't like. This guy looks weird. He's a white Canadian rapper. I'm like, okay, that's going to be fantastic, right? Stereotyping him. Dude gets out there and to use the terminology that is familiar with the situation, dude spits some bars.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what I'm saying? He puts it out there. You need to check it out. Now, you're going to say, Jeff, he's white, you're white, he has conservative views, you have conservative views, he's just a conservative rapper. I don't think he's got necessarily conservative views as much as he just has facts.
Dude's got a lot of facts.
Facts is all that's listed in his music. Take it as you will. But I did watch a bunch of reaction videos, and those are on YouTube. You don't know what those are. What they do is a group of folks usually watch a video, and then they film themselves going, "Oh, that's cool," or whatever, right?
Yeah.
I watched a bunch of them yesterday, and because I had a special, because I wanted to know, to be 100% honest with you, I wanted to know how he was received by Black Americans.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I sought that out. All right, take it as you will. That's what I wanted to do, and I wanted to see it. And I'm gonna
Well,
tell
they
you right
keep
now,
telling us we're divided.
they
man.
do. They do it. I expected. I watched probably about not watch, but I probably listened while I was doing other stuff to
Yeah.
about 15 of them.
Yeah, you know,
Now-
you kind of expect to see bricks coming your way.
Now,
and
here's my
everything
thing.
else.
That's about the equivalent of one of these studies and surveys we tell you about happening in Delaware.
Right.
So I feel like I can base my numbers off of this correctly.
Right.
Not one of those 15 reviews had anything negative to say in a political sense. Some of them said, sure, his chorus is kind of weak, but whatever. The things that he said, though, they said, yes.
They were true.
Oh, my gosh, yes. All the way around, yes. And that's it. Basically, the bottom of it is, divide us. Like I said, we've always said this, to conquer us.
That's right.
There's more money to be made in racism than there was in class. Remember the rich versus the poor?
Oh, yeah.
Never quite worked out.
No.
Never quite worked out. You know why? Because we all liked each other.
Yeah.
You know, we didn't. So what they had to do, they had to stir the pot a little bit. They had to find the match.
Yeah.
And they found it. They found it in race.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where we're at right now. That's what's going to pay the most.
Yeah, that's what's going to pay. Somebody's making money off of all this hate, grief, and discontent.
Absolutely.
And we need to be figuring out who's making the money and take it away from them.
So I would highly recommend you check him out. Check him out. His name is Tom McDonald. That's just something from me to y'all. You know, I mean, again, you know, you don't have to like rap. I think I just want you to listen to the words he says.
Right.
Because you're sitting there going, wow, that's great. The man has averaged over 10 million views in the last 3 years on every song he drops. Something to think about as we get out there. Also, something to think about when we come back after this short break. Police shooting in Nashville. Another one.
Oh, boy.
You know the storyline. We'll talk a little bit about that. Also, Biden. He gave old Putin the finger. See how that works out for us.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying be scared of anybody, but maybe you ought to go ahead and control yourself, old man. Get off my lawn, Putin. Yeah. That and
that's really standing up and being a president, ain't it?
Also, the Department of Homeland Security released the most statement of the year. National Security Report finds that violence from extremists likely in 2021. Congratulations, Bubba. We're 3 months in. You've already had it. We'll talk a little bit more about that in the 8 o'clock hour. That, along with stupid criminals, good news in the 9 o'clock hour. You listen to the Jeff Landy Morning Show being brought to you by Ballinger, Home Health, and Hospice. We'll see you guys here after TSN Morning News Break being brought to you by First National Bank of Ballinger. See you guys in a bit.
Bye, y'all.
Okay. Nothing was working.
Morning, everybody. Y'all doing all right? I'm
Yep.
still trying to get on. My Facebook page ain't coming up.
What are y'all doing? What are y'all doing out there, people? I'm telling you right now. Here, I'm going to find it for you. I want to share it. I want y'all, you do not have to like this man's music to understand what this man is saying. Listen, it's funny, it's good, and it's funny because it's true. Yeah, I recommend you guys check him out. Again, you don't have to like rap. I just want you to listen to the man's words. Okay? Morning, Eric and Alice. How you doing, Bubba? You guys out there killing it at B-Town Barbecue? Y'all ain't checked out B-Town Barbecue yet. You ain't had the best barbecue in town right there, y'all. That's good stuff. Homeboys can throw it down. You know what? I ain't trying to call B-Town Barbecue out, but maybe you ought to send some of your cookers out to the Americanada cook-off there in Rowena, bud. Now I'm gonna tell you right now though that his videos are a little out there, and I'll tell you a little secret about this guy. Him and his wife do everything with their. When you watch their videos, they do everything on an iPhone, a Mac, and green screens and all that stuff like in their living room. It's crazy. Trying to find it here. There it is. I'm not trying to play it, but you guys, I'll share the link and you guys can play it. I'll play this I'll play the first part for you. If I can get everything to work. Boy, everything is trying to be slow this morning. All right, so check this out. I'm going to play you this first part. This first, what we call in the business, Landy, the first bar. All right. Y'all best go ahead and pull your britches up because homeboy hits it quick.
I think it's crazy how the month they label this controversial on Cardi B is the role model for 12-year-old girls. There's rappers pushing Xanax at the top of the billboard, but if I mention race in a song, I'm scared I'll get killed for it. This backwards is getting exponentially dumb. It's more difficult to get a job than purchase a gun. And then used to gay bash and murder his mom, and now he doesn't want fans if they voted for Trump. We're ashamed to be American. You're fucking crazy because you have the right to hate me and not get stoned to death in public. As children, we were taught how to walk and talk, but the system wants adults to sit down and shut up. Cancel culture rules the world now, the planet went crazy. Label everything we say is homophobic or racist. If you're white, then you're privileged, guilty by association. All our childhood heroes got Me Too or the rapists. They never freed the slaves. They realized that they don't need to change. They gave us tiny screens. We think we free because we can't see the cage. They knew the race war would be the game they need to play. For people to be teens, they used the media to feed the flame.
There you go. They used me.
They need the media to feed the flame.
He said they said they freed the slaves, but we ain't never been. They gave us little screens to stare at because we wouldn't notice the cage around us.
That's right.
I mean, dude, with the truth out there, take it as you will, but it's good stuff. I recommend you guys check it out. He's got a lot of videos out there, and if you want to see the reaction videos, they're really good too. Asia and BJ is one of them that's really good, and you should check them out. Again, I wanted to see myself the reactions from the African American community listening to a white Canadian rapper talk about America. Talking about a lot of different personalities in there. But I mean, to me, he don't say nothing that we haven't said before, especially around here. Anything you say, white privilege, talks about it all. Talks about how it's all ignorant on top of it. So there you go.
Check that out. All those girls are running 19 plus miles an hour on a treadmill. That's unbelievable.
That's quick. Girls can move it. I think Usain Bolt runs 28. I think that's the record.
I think that's right.
Fastest man in the world. Anyway, what say y'all?
I tell you what, some of the stuff that you're seeing on multimedia is nuts.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I can't believe it's there. I mean, I know it's there. You know what's out there, folks. But it's to the point you have to determine what am I really seeing?
Yeah.
Am I really seeing what the truth is? Am I really seeing what's going on? Am I really seeing the real deal? It's kind of like that deal on TV yesterday, or day before yesterday. What was it, Monday, I guess? address to the nation from the President of the United States in the Rose Garden. And there's verifiable facts that nobody was in the Rose Garden other than a gardener pushing a wheelbarrow. Well, I guess he was picking up the poo-poo.
Yeah, it was just there to get all the BS that Biden was flinging around out of the White House.
Yeah, because it showed him outside on the lawn, supposedly at the Rose Garden. Okay? I'm not too smart, but when you got a person videoing their apartment that's within eyesight of the Rose Garden, and there's no cars, there's no security, there's nobody there.
You should share that video on there so everybody can see what you're talking about.
I need to find it again. Let's see who sent that to me. Come on, Landy. See if you can find this. Okay, let's see here. Where did I hide it? I love it when you hide stuff, you know, so you don't have to work. Come on. Where's it at?
Good morning, Shane. Marcus Jones, what's up, my man?
How y'all doing this morning? Come on, Landy. What's up with this?
You know, I was talking about I watched the reaction videos from that guy's from Tom McDonald's fake woke, and I'll tell you what I determined. You know, of the 10 or 12, 13, however many of them I watched, not a single reaction was negative in regards to the political side of the black community, which goes to maybe kind of show that maybe we're not as divided, and which I believe this. I think Landy does too. We're not as divided as the media would make it seem. However, they got to keep us that way. They got to put it out there, continue to make us think that we're divided. You know, and we're not going to talk too much to it yet because they're still gathering evidence. But there's another shooting in Atlanta at some masseuse places. Turns out the going story right now, and this is going to develop, but the going story right now is he had a sexual deviancy issue. It was related. He was addicted to sex, and he took the gun and used it in anger towards some massage parlors he had been frequenting. Don't know the ins and outs of it, but he killed 8 people though. It's a big deal. But that's not what the news headline is. All right, one place is reporting that. Other places are immediately saying that this is a racist act because he's a white male with an assault rifle. So there you go. The other feather in the cap of let's take your guns away. All the white males apparently were just straight up poisonous.
That ain't gonna turn out real good.
I mean, the man is a criminal. He's deranged. He needs to be dealt with accordingly. However it is that the justice system sees fit to do it. I'd hang him up by a tree.
He needs to be took out and hung.
Yep. Obviously, you take the lives of anybody. You need to be taken out to the street and hung in public, so everybody can see what happens to you.
Public execution.
I don't care what color he is, and I'm going to tell you, I don't care why he did it. Because he had malice in his heart when he did it. And he needs to go ahead and be dealt with accordingly. But the problem we have, though, it's going to be labeled another white supremacist shooting. And that's a problem.
Yeah.
Because it's not.
Come on now. Yeah, we're seeing a lot of crazy stuff there, and folks, they're going to want you to stay focused on the crazy things that's happening. Make sure that you understand that, because it's not a joke, and I'm not playing. I'm trying to be dead serious with everybody out there. It's
That's true, Shade.
what?
Criminals can't get guns; they're illegal.
That's right.
What were we thinking? Yeah, that's a good call, man. My bad.
Yeah, criminals can't get guns; they're illegal. Well, I don't know where it went.
Yeah, we need to find it. We keep talking about it. We need to let the folks know about it. Let's see. Good gosh, this is killing me. Everything's so slow this morning.
Everybody send me this public service announcement. What's this guy talking about?
I don't know. What's that? Oh, I don't know.
Well-dressed dude.
Yeah, this thing is dying. Sorry, everything is slow. I was trying to read y'all something. Oh, man.
Well, I can't find it, people. As soon as I find it, I'll see if I can send it to Jeff and let him post it for you. It was real interesting. The guy was standing there in his apartment. This dude's been there 32 or 23 years in this big apartment complex kind of like across the street from the White House. He's lived there all his life, basically. And he takes his phone and he goes, "Look, what's on TV? Joe Biden in the Rose Garden." And he takes his phone and does like this. Look out the window. That's the White House. There's the Rose Garden right there. There's nobody there. But right here shows Joe Biden at the White House. Wake up, people. I'll send this video to somebody. Let this thing go viral. I don't care what they say or I don't care what they do. Y'all want me? Come get me. I've got a right to my own opinion. And right now, my opinion says, y'all folks up there in the White House that are voting for all of this crazy stuff, y'all need to go home. That's my opinion. Y'all need to go home. We'll find somebody else to take your job. Because you ain't doing the job this American people want you to be up there doing. About had enough of it. Sorry, lost it.
Yeah, because
Yeah, I can't believe he got a gun. He could find any bullets. That's funny. Morning, Marcus. How you doing this morning, sir? Rochelle, good morning, dear. Morning, Shane Boswell. How you doing, bud? Boy, one of my boys, Angelo. He was in the basement. I'll tell you what, folks. if you can find, let me tell you something. The people that know me, if you could find me doing something wrong, would you call me out? I would hope you would.
Right.
You know, hold me accountable. That's just me, right? Who's holding that idiot accountable? You know what I'm saying? When you start taking jobs away from people, who's holding him accountable? When you open the borders of the United States of America to this anybody that wants to come over here, that's okay. Okay, you can't do that anywhere else in the world. There's no country in the world that will just let you come to their country. You have to have a passport. You know what I mean? You have to be, they're going to ask you why you're here. Why are you here? Well, I'm going to come over here and rob a bank. Excuse me? You doing what? Oh, I'm going to come over here and just live off your system. Actually, you're not.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you are. Because, come on in.
Yeah.
Come on
we
in.
got a place for
free
you.
education.
Yeah, we're
free health care.
That's right.
What else you want? Somebody's
right.
house? I'll get your house.
Yeah.
Want a house? I'll get your house.
We're going to send you over to Pelosi's house. She's got a big house, lots of rooms, and just her.
You'll get a damn house in America. You'll get housing allowance. You'll get a stimulus check.
Oh, yeah, you get a cell phone.
From us. Cell phone? You want a cell phone? We got free cell phones.
Yeah.
Everything you could possibly want, it's here.
Yeah.
Want a job? Get you a job.
Right.
You want to work under the table? We can do that too.
Yeah.
Don't want to pay taxes? That's fine.
That's right. You want to enter into the trafficking, the trade business? Go ahead on.
Yeah. We're not going to stop you.
No. Not now. Because we ain't got nobody in the White House with any britches on. Dude's wearing a skirt. I think he's been emasculated, personally. That's why he just sniffs.
He's trying to recall the days when he actually felt something. Yeah. So anyway,
that's right. Get caught in Mexico without a passport.
Yeah. Honestly, and not to go back to what old McDonald said in that song right there, but here's the thing: you people I hate America. I hate it.
Go. Leave.
But go say that in Iraq. Go stand in the middle of the damn town square and say that in Iraq, and you see what happens to you.
Somebody shoot your ass.
You go to China and sit in the privacy of your own damn apartment, butt naked on a computer eating Cheetos, and say that you hate China. And see if you don't get a knock on your door an hour from that point on.
Right.
Because you're going to go for a little trip.
Yeah. And it ain't going to be in China.
Yeah. And so there's our business partner that Biden loves so much.
Yeah.
They're holding a meeting in Alaska. You talked about the other day. I'm not sure when it's happening, but it was supposed to. You said it happened yesterday, but
I thought it happened the 16th.
No.
Maybe it's the 26th.
Maybe the 26th.
Yeah, but why is he going to Alaska? Oh, that's right. He's not allowed in the White House. He's not allowed in the White House. They got a fence around it. That's what the deal is.
It's an Alaskan summit. Beijing does not have high expectations for the upcoming talks of the United States and Alaska. China's ambassador told reporters Wednesday it'll be the first meeting of senior officials from both countries.
Right.
There is no agenda, no public agenda for the event, but they're going to be discussing a range of issues.
Yeah, they're going to be discussing a range of issues.
And we're not going to pull punches.
I want you to, and they want to walk lockstep with China. I don't want to walk lockstep from these United States with nobody. Y'all understand that? Walking lockstep means to walk side by side in agreement, perfect agreement with the person you're standing next to. Folks.
Here's my thing. Biden said on yesterday, that he accused China of using coercion and aggression to undermine human rights. You could say that if murdering thousands of a certain type of people is coercion and aggression, sure. or you can just say the truth that they performed genocide in their own country, but he won't say that. Why? Because he's scared. He
It's
can't
chicken
say it.
shit.
He can't say it.
Biden, you're a punk ass, and somebody needs to slap you.
With a salami or something, just for giggles.
No, they need to slap you with Pelosi.
Here we go.
Yeah, and
There we go. All right, welcome back. It is 8. Wait for it. Wait for it. Hold on. Wait for it. It is. Bam. 8:20 on the dot. Here in the Agriplex, hanging out with Jeff and Landy. It is the Jeff and Landy Morning Show on a beautiful Thursday. We're being brought to you by Ballinger Home Health and Hospice. It's going to be a high of about 65 today. Winds will be out of the north at 10 to 104 miles an hour. So enjoy it.
yeah.
Don't worry about fixing your hair. It
That's
ain't
right.
gonna matter.
Okay, girls, make sure y'all put plenty of that hairspray in.
Hey, we're not trying to be
No.
misogynistic here.
Misogynistic.
Yeah, that's when you is that a masseuse?
I was
Is
gonna
that,
say,
is that degree in misogyny?
I hadn't been to no massage shop lately, but okay.
Well, you can't label me like that.
So I'm misogynistic?
Yeah, so I don't know what I was going to go with that. Hey, speaking of massages and breaking news out of the sports world, if you are a NFL football fan, which there's not a lot left, but there is a lot left as well.
Mm-hmm.
We have 2 teams in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
We have the Dallas Cowboys and the Texas Longhorns, but then we also have another pro team, supposedly the Houston Texans. Now they've got a pretty good little quarterback, and his name is Deshaun Watson.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Deshaun Watson, this is breaking news, has 4 counts of sexual assault against him from a masseuse. Or a couple of team masseuses. And I don't have to go in detail about what they think have happened. You can just kind of assume it yourself. Again, we live in a world where he should be innocent until proven guilty.
Mm-hmm.
Given his skin tone, given his position of monetary supremacy, he might be. He might be all right. A lot of other players or other people will be removed immediately pending said investigation.
Mm-hmm.
It could be completely false. It could be somebody wanting a payday. It could be completely accurate.
Mm-hmm. We don't know.
We don't know, but I guarantee you it's going to be in the news. You're going to hear about it and watch how it's handled. Let's see how it's handled.
Yeah, let's see how this goes down.
It'd be like a little experiment
Mm-hmm.
to see how it's handled. But if you're a Texans fan, I'd be concerned because he is a stud quarterback. He really is. And this is going down. He may not get to see the season. Maybe he will. We'll figure that out as it gets closer. All right, so we talked about Biden has an upcoming trip. President Joe. Speaking of being creepy with massage therapists.
Yeah,
President Joe.
Sniffy Joe Biden. Yeah, buddy.
I say massage. Anyway,
Dribbling idiot.
he
Joe
is heading
Biden.
up to Alaska at some point to have meetings with China,
That's right.
his benefactor.
Why didn't he have
He's
him
on
at
the- he's on the
wait,
payroll.
Wait. Why didn't he have him at the White House?
Oh, I don't know, dude. I really don't know the reasoning behind the Alaska summit. I think it happens every so often. So they put it in Alaska.
Yeah, I'm thinking that they can't have it at the White House because there's a fence around it.
Maybe, right? You
He's been fenced
you
out.
don't want to invite your boss to the military zone you've created in his
Right.
country.
Oh no,
We
can't have
Xi
that.
Jinping or whatever his name is.
Yeah, you think he'd be wondering what he's getting into
Yeah.
walking through the gate?
Exactly.
They patting him down.
They put it wide open. They're gonna meet somewhere, apparently on an ice cap in the middle of the sea out there, and just see what happens.
Yeah.
But they're gonna have their discussions because Biden is doing this new. I think one of the positive things they used to say about Biden was his foreign policy. He was so good at it, so strong in his foreign policy.
Mm-hmm.
All I've seen so far is a lot of threats.
Actually, what I've seen so far is one of his press secretaries. I think it's that Amazon redheaded gal he's got working for him.
Saki.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She said, "Oh well, our administration wants to walk lockstep with China." Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
Since when does American administration wants to walk lockstep with another country? I don't care what country it is.
So why are we okay?
Why is it okay for us to walk lockstep with any country?
Okay, well, let's say we do. That's fine. But what about walking lockstep with a country that has admittedly and continues to perform genocide in their country?
Yeah.
How about a country we would talk about how you have the ability to say what you want in America and not be usually be killed for it?
What was your analog in there? What was your analysis on that? Let's say you're sitting in your apartment.
Right. Look, I mean, honestly, look. Go to Iraq, and you get up on the biggest pedestal you can find in the center of Baghdad.
Right.
You get up there and you tell them how horrible they are.
Mm.
You tell them their culture is misogynistic.
Mm.
You tell them that they need to treat women better. You tell them that gay folks, left, right, center, they need to be respected, like you say here in America, because it's the truth, is it not? It is the truth. You tell them that anybody can be whatever they want in this world, and if that boy over there wants to be a female, that's okay.
That's just before you hear this.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you wouldn't get to that fourth or fifth part I just mentioned.
You wouldn't. No, you wouldn't make it that far.
Yeah.
Somebody put a cap in you over there.
Yeah.
You know, and that's another thing. That's another thing. What people don't understand is these countries we're talking about are communist countries. Okay.
Well, they're communists. They're socialists. They're dictatorships. They're all the
they
bad
have
ones.
they have two classes of people: them that have and them that have not. And them that have, you could probably count them on 3 or 4 hands.
And them that have got it from them that have not.
And they're taking it from them that
And
have
they got
not.
paid by other folk.
That's right. That's right. So it's all about them. Okay. It's nothing about you, and you have zero to say about it.
You want to see
Because if you say something about it, they will take your life away from you,
You
and
wanna-
put somebody
exactly.
else in your job.
You can stand in the middle of Austin, Texas, Ballinger, Texas, anywhere in this United States and say what I just said,
That's right.
and they go, well, he's an idiot, but what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Or heck yeah, I agree with you.
That's right.
And the end result's probably the same.
Yeah.
Except if you go the negative way nowadays, you're going to get canceled. Which, come on, please bring it.
Yeah.
Try.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Anyway, so then now we're dealing with China, and it's the same thing I was saying. You can be sitting in China in an apartment somewhere, butt naked, eating Cheetos, typing on the computer, and telling them that China's horrible.
Yeah.
And that's all you gotta say.
Yeah.
You ain't gotta be mean. You just gotta say this place sucks.
That's right. And
Hashtag.
pretty soon,
Dude,
somebody gonna knock on your
about
door.
an hour later, you're going for a ride,
Yeah.
and then your family can't find you.
And then nobody can know. Then nobody knows where you are, and you all of a sudden are not around.
These are the ones we're getting in bed with.
Right.
You have to understand that. And now, granted, this new story that came out where Biden pretty much just gave old Putin fame, called Putin a killer. Might be. There's rumors that he is. Listen, I'm not saying that you shouldn't be calling people that. All I'm getting at is maybe you want to slow your roll, homeboy.
Yeah.
How many wars are you going to try to get us in already?
Yeah.
Right? China's mad at you. North Korea told you better watch your mouth. His sister, homeboy, is over there. North Korea's sister, after she's crazy. She told America, essentially, you best get my name out your mouth.
Honey, let me tell you something. If you're listening to the Jeff and Landy Morning Show,
Which I know you are.
yeah, first off, you need to understand that we didn't say that.
No.
We ain't got no beef with you. You want to take that up? You go over there and grab that old man and that skinny broad that he's running around with and drag him out of that
But
White
here's the
House.
thing. You want to come on with it, though, we're going to come on with it.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, you want to play the game, we will. But what I'm getting at is you're attacking China.
Right.
You say he says he attacks China.
That's just so he can get your eyes off of what he's trying to do to us.
He's turned his back on Israel. Hey, lady, what's it say in that black book about you?
Man,
about turning your back on Israel.
You don't be turning your back on Israel, homeboy. Let me
right.
explain to you how that works.
Yeah.
That ain't gonna be good for you. That ain't gonna be good for your soul, and it ain't gonna be good for your role.
Yeah. He said, and then he turned his back on Israel. He's talking mess to North Korea, or his representatives are. Russia has now pulled their, what is it called? Their not the administrator. I've lost the term now. In front of their foreign ministry guy, their ambassador. Good gosh, they have now pulled their ambassador out of America after Putin on Wednesday called him a killer, and said that he will pay for the Russian interference in the 2020 election. Bro, are we not past this Russian interference stuff? But anyway, that being said, you're going to tell a man who has proven to be ruthless, you're going to sit there and be like, you're a killer, and you're going to sit there and tell him you're going to pay for this. Whoa. That's one of them alligator mouth hummingbird, you know what moments.
That's right.
I mean,
that's just like
America will handle it.
That's just like, yeah, that's right. We could handle it.
We'll
but
handle
that's
it,
not
but do
the
we have
point.
to at this point?
That's not the point.
Yeah.
It's unnecessary.
Thank you. That's what ultimately what I'm getting
It's
at.
absolutely unnecessary. Well, I didn't put the man up there to start no trouble.
When's
Right.
the last time we had a war?
Yeah, been
Last time we had a Democratic president.
4 or 5 years. Oh, that's right. We did have a Democratic president. Oh, that's what they got us into a war. Okay, but I mean, just saying, hey, I'm telling you, the reason they get us into a war so they print more money so somebody else can get rich or make more money. Somebody make more money other than us.
We are the have-nots. Y'all have to remember.
Y'all have to understand that.
All we are is cattle to these people.
Wake up. Somebody go up there and jerk him out of that place and tell him, spank him and send him home. Get him a nap or something.
No.
Yeah.
A rolled up newspaper across Biden's nose would do the job.
That's right. He'd quit.
No.
That's right.
Now, go back to Delaware.
Yeah, go back to Delaware.
Get your pen.
Quit doing what you're doing because you're not doing it right.
Right.
Good night.
It's craziness. Now, let's switch gears, but staying in the same boat of craziness. Apparently, a new report from the U.S. intelligence community has come out, and it warns of future. This is the best part. Future unspecified violence committed by domestic extremists who have been emboldened by the siege of the U.S. Capitol. Conspiracy theorists about the election and coronavirus will come forth.
You know what that's telling me? They scared. Y'all need to be.
They're fear mongering.
That's right. They're absolutely fear mongering. They're trying to stir up trouble.
They've been saying the reason they left the fencing up at the D.C. was because domestic terrorists, Trump supporters. Let's be real with what they're trying to label.
Yeah, they're trying to label us Trump supporters.
That we were going to re-attack. When's the last time somebody attacked the Capitol?
Ain't nobody got no business. There ain't no point in attacking the Capitol because there ain't nothing there.
Well, there ain't no point anyway.
There ain't nobody there.
But there wouldn't be a point anyway.
There's not. Why would you want to go up there and waste your time doing that?
And this was all put forth.
We don't have to attack it. All we got to do is surround it and keep them in there.
And this was all put forth, by the way, because President Biden commissioned this assessment.
He commissioned it?
He commissioned it to get it done.
Yeah, okay.
An unclassified summary of the findings issued by the U.S. Office and Director of National Intelligence, the Department of Justice, and the Department of Homeland Security was released yesterday. The full classified report was sent to the White House and Congress. It concludes that racially and ethically motivated extremists, such as, here we go, white supremacists, and those tied to violent militias, and considered the most are considered the most lethal threats.
If you're not doing anything wrong and everybody loves you, you wouldn't have these issues.
One can't justify the other because what happened on January 6th was wrong no matter how you slice it.
That's exactly.
But let me I think where we at? We had 21 people dead due to the Portland, Minneapolis riots. 21?
Yeah.
St. Louis, Portland, Minneapolis.
I think that's right.
21 people dead.
21 people dead.
Last time I checked that, I don't know how to say this without making it sound like I'm trying to be sympathetic. Last time I checked, this wasn't committed by white supremacists.
No.
It was committed by Antifa thugs. And I'm not saying
BLM thugs.
And white supremacists are wrong too.
Right.
They need to be removed from our system. They need to be dealt with accordingly.
Right.
But what I'm getting at is you can't. You're labeling a race at this point in time.
Yeah.
When you say what I just
read. And that's another way to drive a wedge in between us and them.
Because they hear us, they don't see us as just white boys.
No.
If we speak out against anything that they don't agree with,
right,
they see us as white supremacists. There's a difference between hate speech and speech you hate.
Yeah. There is?
Yeah, imagine that.
Really?
You can not agree with what I say. It doesn't make me a racist or a supremacist.
No.
It may make me a butthead or an idiot.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean I don't like you.
That's
or
exactly.
I can't stand, the color of your skin or something. But they label it when you release these reports, this is what you do.
That's right.
Not a single mention of Antifa or anybody else.
Oh no, they don't want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
No, because you know why? They get too much pushback from that.
Right.
Somebody from Antifa go up there and say, hey, y'all can't talk about us like that. I've been in my basement. My mama told me to come down here and tell you can't talk about us like that.
I'm not trying. I don't know how to explain this without coming across as a sympathizer, but it bugs me because it's not accurate. This 2020 showed it to not be accurate. This thing says white supremacy groups are most likely to commit mass casualty attacks. Maybe, but if you want to give a recent history, it ain't them.
Right.
Again, they're not good. They need to be removed and dealt with.
Right.
They're scum of the earth type of people.
Right.
I'm officially denouncing.
That's what they're doing. They're talking about Antifa.
To me, that's a white supremacist
And they're
group.
talking about that BLM white supremacist group.
Mm-hmm. How about just a group of
What was that one?
idiots?
That one BLM riot that they had was all women, and they were all white.
Well, all I know is there's 21 deaths attributed to the riots throughout that summer.
Why are they not investigating that? Why is it that when they investigated the people that actually broke into the White House and the ones that were arrested, okay,
Mm-hmm.
they found out that they had been paid to do that?
Mm-hmm.
The dude with the horns and the face and everything else, he's been at BLM protests. He's been at
Listen,
Portland.
That dude is not a treat. He is
come
not a Trump supporter.
Come to find out, he's some
You know
judge.
how I know he's not a Trump supporter? He's 35 years old. He's a 35-year-old vegan living in his mother's basement.
Yeah,
well, now he's in prison. But he was living in his mother's
I don't
basement.
think he's even in jail.
Didn't have a job. All he does is he goes to riots for a living.
I think he's some judge's sister's son. That's why he ain't in jail.
Maybe.
I'll tell you what. Let's look at things from a right and a wrong aspect.
Yeah, that's that.
If it ain't
It's
right,
that simple.
if it ain't right, it's wrong.
Yes.
Okay.
No matter what you look like.
That's right. I don't care what color your skin is. I don't care what you do for a living. I don't care where you've been. I don't care who you are.
Okay, now let's talk right or wrong.
Okay.
Shooting in Nashville.
That's wrong.
All right. It happened a little bit ago, and I didn't talk about it because I was waiting for body cam footage to come out. So what happened was, in case you weren't familiar with it, an African American woman was pulled over by a white cop in Nashville because apparently the car had multiple warrants associated with the owner.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
That's the lady that shot the cop.
now I
through
don't
the
know
window.
why. I don't know why he picked that car. We don't know. That's
Right.
inside
I
that
saw
man's
that
heart.
video. I saw that video.
Exactly. So they pulled him over. He's talking to her. The woman continuously ignores him. She keeps reaching into her car, and he says, "Ma'am, please stop reaching into your car. Get out of your bag. What you just put?" He said, "What did you just throw out of your bag?" She goes, "Nothing." And he stops, takes a breath. You can hear all this. It's legitimate and still. And he says, "I think we got off on the wrong foot. Let's start over." He starts talking to her. She continues to be belligerent. She continues to go back to the vehicle. "Ma'am, please don't go back to the vehicle. Walk to the back of the car." "Nah, what you pull me over for?" "Mad, ignorant. I pulled you over because all the warrants in the car." "Ain't gonna know me. I ain't that man." "I know that, but I don't know who's in your car." "You know who's in my car? I'm in my car." He goes, "I didn't know who was in your car when I pulled you over. All right, couldn't see in it. So I had to assume that perhaps he was in the car with you. You know, right? To argue and back and forth. He starts going with her bag. Well, guess what he finds in her bag? Some goodies.
Ooh,
Little plastic bags.
Goodies in the bag.
So guess what? Somebody's going to jail.
Right.
Because apparently her boyfriend owns the car and he is a big-time drug dealer.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to go to jail. He starts to try to handcuff her.
Mm-hmm. Then the fight happens.
Listen, I ain't trying to be mean, but the girl built like me. Except she's about 5'8", probably my weight.
Mm-hmm.
All right, she's not a little girl.
She's a big gal.
She's a big gal, and she is aggressive. She pulls away from him. Takes off running. Yelling, "Help me! Help me!" Running away from him. Yelling like a fool. Gets back to the car. Tries to get in the car. He tases her. Apparently it's not working. I watched it. Or she's taking it like a champ. Because she's still moving around. "Man, quit reaching the car. Quit reaching." And he's trying to tell her. He's trying to pull her out. He tases her up close. He finally, I guess, the leads fell out. And so he goes in and hits her with the actual gun taser in the shoulder. Stuns her up for a second. As she is convulsing, she reaches to the passenger seat, pulls out a gun, turns it on the cop, and starts to fire. She unloads at least 2 or 3 rounds, hits him, and he unloads at least 4 or 5, maybe even 7 rounds, hits her. He falls to the ground, calls in shots fired. She gets in the car, drives off, runs off into a ditch, and dies. Her mama gets on camera. "My baby was murdered by the police." Your baby was murdered by the police because your baby shot the police.
Your baby shot the police, and the police shot back.
But the problem I have with it all is this is, in my mind, I'm not a lawyer, I'm not a cop, I don't know anything about it. It seems justifiable. She fought back, she fired first. Right? She had a gun. This cop went above. This cop actually did exactly what you shouldn't do because I promise you, he had been trained and he's scared. Deep down inside, he knew he could only do certain things because how it was going to be construed.
Mm-hmm. And it's
and
still
it
gonna
caused
make it screwed
himself
up.
to get shot because this woman valued her whatever over anybody else's.
Life.
Remember, yeah, she shot him first.
Right.
So anyway, the news comes out. There's a news segment, several of them. Don't say nothing about it, about the struggle. Shows the cop chasing her. Shows the cop shooting her with the tasers. And then it pans out to the mama asking, why my baby getting shot? It's wrong. Listen, I can never imagine that kind of pain. I'm going to tell you right now, if I watched that video and that was my kid, I'm like, what was he doing? Why did he do that? You know, like what was the reasoning? Why did my son get all ignorant like that and pull that gun on that cop? That was your fault.
Right.
But that's the problem we have nowadays.
That's right.
Ain't nobody accountable.
That's right.
So anyway, there's where that's going on.
Yep.
You know, I mean, so again, that's a developing story. Again, the shooting in Georgia.
Right.
That's a developing story. That they're labeling it. Half the news is labeling hate crime. Half of it's labeling it the man had a mental disorder and was mad at somebody and took it out on them.
Ain't no telling.
There's no telling because there's still a lot of evidence to come out, so we can't really speak too much of that. So I don't know, crazy world we live in. As per usual, it's 8:40. Tell you what, let's switch gears in the 9 o'clock hour.
Yep.
Let's talk about fruits and vegetables. I'm going to tell you which ones have the highest counts of pesticides according to a new study.
Oh boy.
Yeah, in case you want to know, maybe you want to live that organic life.
Yeah.
I don't know. Also, we're going to talk about what the key is to getting through that work day.
That's right.
Landy, you've had employees underneath you.
Yep.
Have you ever gotten mad at one of your employees because they quit on you?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk about
Does
that
you know
too.
how to take up the job? Me.
Yeah, and I got a new segment, and we're going to call it The Retro. We'll talk about all that in the 9 o'clock hour. You listen to the Jeff Landy Morning Show, being brought to you by Ballinger Home Health and Hospice. We will see you guys here after First News and Hotline.
Bye, y'all. That's it.
How's everybody?
What's up, Gary?
What's up, Gary?
Not much. What's the Wi-Fi password?
The phone number here, 32. You got a pen?
I got a pen, but I don't have any paper.
You can write on. You can write on. She can write on those logs. It ain't gonna hurt nothing at the bottom of it. I hope not.
Yeah, it shouldn't hurt anything.
325. Whenever you're ready, let me know.
Okay.
I'll let everybody know my Wi-Fi password. It's 325
Okay.
365 5500.
Okay. Okay. I'm trying to see what's wrong with that EAS in there. That weather radio that I brought in here is not going to work because it's picking up the station. I mean, it's that one. There's a whole lot better weather radio.
It's picking up. Actually, we had that the other. I had that the other day where Carrie was coming through on the FM dial.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we were trying. We had an issue. One of these wiring harnesses back here got screwed up somehow or another, and so we're having signal issues. We lost. You know,
Yeah,
that AM
power.
compressor right there. What does that do?
That
Like
that keeps your sound from getting too loud or too low.
that's what kind of was happening.
No, it wouldn't.
Yeah, it was staticky, and it would jump to high volume and low volume.
Right, but
Mhm.
that one side went out
That's what I'm saying.
until I jiggled them wires around down there. What I found, I'm giving you my opinion. Comes out of the computer, goes to one of them push wire things where you push the wire into the,
punch block.
and they ain't worth the shit.
Yeah, I know.
And then that wire goes to another one, and then that wire goes into a wiring harness that goes around into there.
Yeah.
That wiring harness goes into a big long one, and it goes across there, and then it goes across there, and then it goes into another one, and then it goes from there to a block where it's plugged in, and then it goes from there to the back of that piece of equipment in there. So you've got 5 or 6 different places that you
Yeah.
could have issues with corrosion. And you know how it is with corrosion. It'll happen at any point in time during anything that happens.
Yeah.
And especially during a lightning storm, you have extra electrons in the air that affect the corrosion and increase it tremendously. So I got back there and got to wiggling all them connections, and that thing went to working. Of course,
Yeah.
we ain't touched it since.
Yeah.
But there is no reason why we can't go from the back of this piece of equipment to the back of that piece of equipment with one wire nonstop. Because the wires are already there. They're just hooked up.
Well, let's see. It would depend on what all is in the path. The EAS has to be in there someplace. It has to be between the board and the
Transmitter.
processors.
Processors.
Yeah, all that CRL stuff, that black stuff, all red and yellow and green.
Is that EAS that top piece of equipment?
That blue one. Yeah.
That blue piece says yeah.
Yeah, that's where this goes.
Okay.
This goes into there. But from that top piece of equipment, it goes through 3 jump blocks
Yeah.
before it gets into that bottom.
It should go from here
To there.
to the EAS, and then from the EAS to the CRL equipment. The
Compressor and everything else down
yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Okay.
There
But there shouldn't be any of those wires that go in there like this.
Yeah.
Those jump blocks. That's what I'm calling them. I don't know what you call them.
Yeah, they call punch blocks.
Punch block.
Yeah.
Okay. There shouldn't be any punch blocks in that line because it needs to be a straight run, but it cuts down the possibility of a corrosion factor.
Well, one thing can be done, and I'll have to see if I've got my punch tool. But what I do if I have problems like that is I just go put the punch tool on there and punch it down, and that usually takes care of it. It's just not making good contact, and that helps it make better contact.
Right, but that's just a temporary fix.
No, it's not. No, if it's
Well, if it was done right the first time, then this never would have happened. Is that not correct?
well, it's old. This stuff is old.
But the point that I'm getting at is corrosion will happen in that situation because you have a wire laying in between 2 things like that.
Yeah.
It's not actually crimped down on the wire.
Well, if the person that put the wire on the punch block didn't put it down good, then it won't make good contact sometimes. I mean, eventually the corrosion will cause it to lose contact. And if you go in there with a punch tool and punch it down where it slides into that wire or that punch tool, not the punch tool, but the blades better, you know, it might be right here, right now. And there's not a lot of grip on it. And then so you get it down to here, the tightest spot, and then it usually takes
I guess
care
the
of
bottom line of it is, though, it's one of these days we're going to have to shut it all down and really look at and examine what wiring is this really at this point in time in 2021 necessary.
Yeah.
You know,
there's a lot of it that's not.
I Gary, I mean, I would assume there's like 90% of it we don't even need anymore. I've got it looks like 3 different satellite setups that there's no need for any of that wiring.
Yeah, you don't need those satellites.
You know, I mean, honestly, it's like Landy said, if we can figure out a way to go from straight board to EAS, straight from EAS, straight to compressor, straight from compressor, straight to transmitter, done.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and if that was, and then you just yank everything else out because you know how it is in a radio signal. Everything, every single exposed wire, because none of these are sheathed up at all, they're just antennas for interference. You know,
you've got to be real careful though, when you start going and yanking stuff out, because one thing may affect another thing.
Right, and that's why experience needs to be put in play there. We need to figure out what.
It just takes time. You know, the very best way to do the whole thing is to rip it all out.
Yeah. And
start over. What? That's not going to be a one-day thing.
No, it won't. It won't be.
That would take several days to get it all.
Oh, I know. And like I said before, whenever we're talking about going into trying to convert to FM, before the Rona hit, then that was an ideal we had.
Yeah.
Just to start it all over and clean it all out. If we're gonna be down, we're gonna be down.
Yeah.
You know. But anyway.
So, yeah. It's something we can look at and try to get. What I want to do right now is I want to get my computer into the EAS, and there's a light flash. The automatic light's flashing on there, and it shouldn't be. It should be steady, and that may have something to do with why the weather radio is not working on there. The weather radio sounds better today than it has been sounding.
Okay.
It doesn't have that squeal on there as much as it's had.
So yeah, now maybe something internally on the EAS.
So it may be the EAS itself instead of the weather radio, but that little weather radio that I brought in here not gonna work. I could hear y'all better because the weather radio. So.
And you'll be able to tell if that EAS has internet feed, right? There's something going on with that.
It's got internet feed, yeah. But that's where you get.
When's the last time you checked that?
Well, I you just look at it, you just see the LEDs flashing back there.
That shows that it's connected.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I pulled a wire that I thought went somewhere else, and I'm hoping I didn't pull that one.
That's right.
So I was just saying.
And I'll check it to see, but
Double check it.
That if you get the cap test on Monday, then you know it's working, because that's where the cap test comes from, is the internet.
Sure.
And
Okay.
that's basically the purpose of testing it, to be sure it works, because that's most likely where the president would deliver a message if there was war or
Whatever it
something.
might be.
Yeah, and so that most likely it would come to the
Yeah,
internet.
because I heard because when that storm hit Saturday, we had alerts come through. Couldn't hear them, and didn't get printouts, but alerts did come through the radio. You got the beeps and you got the nothing, and then you got the beeps at the end of it.
Okay.
So yeah.
Well, that's what I'm trying to do. See if I can get into that weather radio.
All right. Well, that top paper is for you right there.
Yeah. So
I have no idea if something would happen with it. Went to Odessa.
Okay.
So but there we go.
Okay.
So,
Well, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll let you
all right.
know.
Thanks, Gary.
No problem.
Next. Hold on. Let me see this. I want you to don't just here for this weekend.
You got to be kidding me.
I thought I was funny as hell when I came up with that. The Landy and the Jeff and Landy morning show. I mean, come on, that's good stuff. That way, in case somebody say you have a card, yeah, sure, here you go.
Thank you, Steve. Oh my gosh.
What's up, Steve? What do we owe you, brother, man? I gotta come pay you, but what do I owe you?
$22.50.
All right, I'll come. You gonna be at the office today?
Fuck no.
Okay, I will.
I got to make one more delivery, and then
I'm going to
get off route.
I am going to pay you. I'm not going to go through
That's fine.
KRUA with that, but I will pay you. So I'll come by there and swap my card.
When's Aiden come back?
Saturday. I think maybe Saturday.
Well, if he wants to do anything,
You still have stuff to pick up?
I-
I tried to tell him to put janitor on there, but watch that. I probably shouldn't do that.
I may still have stuff to do.
Okay,
So
I'll holler at. I'll let him know when we get
Yeah.
we get him back. So, thanks Steve for the last
hey,
minute.
Landy.
Thanks Steve for the last minute job. Hey,
Yeah,
your last minute print job, Steve. Very proud of printing and graphics.
That's right. It can be done, but it's expensive. $426 for 10 cards. I got 20.
Damn it.
If you can get me to respond at 10:30 at night to a text,
Yeah. Good luck.
Yeah. I said, hey man, a little last minute, but I don't have any business cards, and if we want to hand stuff out, I need to have some business cards.
is it time to go up to the awards thing?
Yeah. Sunday.
Hot damn!
Damn, I didn't put my email on here. I'm an idiot.
Is this last year's awards or this year's?
It's
awards?
this year's awards.
This year's awards.
It's this year's awards.
Yeah. Last year's awards, we didn't make it either. That's when the guy down in outside of Corpus Christi.
Corpus Christi won it. Yeah.
He's 27 miles outside of town, but he's small market FM radio.
Hitting Corpus.
Yeah.
27 miles.
Dude, don't you wish you had that advertising base?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I Angelo, but nobody wants to hit that at AM, bro. Everybody want to tap up on the FM.
Yeah.
I hear you.
One could wish, but cool deal. Well, I appreciate the rush,
Maybe
job,
one
man.
day.
Yeah.
Maybe one day the Landy and the Jeff and Landy morning show.
The Landy and the Jeff and Landy morning.
We'll get you some FM going eventually.
Yeah, eventually. I tell you, man. I keep saying I want to start
We're
doing a little
gonna
fun.
we're gonna build you a wood-fired transmitter.
That's it.
A
Dude,
wood-fired
They
transmitter.
tried to do a GoFundMe to pay off Prince Henry and Meghan Markle's mortgage payments, and it didn't work. It had like zero money in it, like after like a month or something.
How do multi-billionaires get somebody to get them a GoFundMe?
I don't know.
First off, why do they have a mortgage?
Because there's that. Because I guess they're shamed. They're not too shameful to ask or whatever. Like, see, that's my biggest problem. I've always said that I hate asking for money or help.
Well,
These
Well,
people don't. They're rich and they don't care. Maybe
Well,
that's why they're rich. They
Well,
ask
and
for
that's why I was talking about Patreon. You're not Patreon. You're not begging for money. You're help me get to this goal, and I'm going to hook you up with
this.
whatever.
Yeah, we'll hook you up with Ballinger.
We will
Or
hook you up, and we got some beer and barbecue.
That's right. Do it.
that way we can trade it out.
Do it. What do we got to do here?
We have a cook-off.
Patreon.
I don't know. Is it Patreon?
Patreon. Patreon.
I'm gonna check it out.
Set it up, Steve, because you know how to do shit.
I'm gonna check it out and say I need $20,000.
And there's a lot of guys that I know of. I don't particularly know them, but that I watch on the social media. Well, like, have you ever watched the Fluffy Talks on the YouTube?
With Gabriel Iglesias?
No.
No, they don't.
This is a white guy from Canada,
I got you. Okay.
but he does videos, and they're just kind of like, goes, here's some more pictures of stupid people at Walmart.
Yeah.
And he talks, but there's a lot of stuff that you can't see on the YouTube because YouTube censors a lot.
Sure. Heck yeah.
And if you want to see the really funny stuff that I'm doing, come to my Patreon. And on his Patreon, he's pulling $3,000 a month,
Jeez.
doing stuff that's just specific. You have to be in Patreon to see it.
That makes sense. Morning, Billy.
I'm gonna check it out,
What's
man.
happening?
Yeah.
Janie, good morning, good morning, good morning. Sorry.
Check it out.
Sorry, you always taking care of business.
Yeah,
But-
business.
But yeah, we'll
Okay.
talk about that more later.
Yeah, sounds good, man.
I got to go.
Later, dude.
See y'all later.
Heck, man. Shoot. Got some business cards. Hope that's not offensive, Landy. I was trying to figure out something that wouldn't offend you, or make you think that you're not worth what you are.
Yeah.
You know. Oh hell, no.
$250.
Don't worry about that. I guess I could have paid him just now. I realized I had cash.
Yeah.
I
I
was-
have it. I'll run out there and get it.
Here, just take tell him I gave him 50 cents.
I had 83.
I was just trying to make room in my wallet for some cards, and
We weren't fast enough.
oh, he made it out. Well, that's good. At least I was trying to make room
It's
in my
all
wallet.
folded up for you.
I was just making room in my wallet for business cards. It ain't the biggest wallet, but it gets the job done. It's not always the size that matters of the wallet.
The Landy. That's funny.
I thought it was funny.
You're KRUN.com, AM.com.
Yeah, they can find my email there. I'll just tell somebody what my email is. They ask, they can write it down. But I figured there gonna be folks asking for our card and stuff. Sorry, man. We're doing some associating, some business out here, people. Y'all need some Jeff and Landy Morning Show business cards or something? I'm trying to make room for my business cards. Everybody say, I ain't get business cards, and like that was one of those things I cut for cost. So I just said, give me some plain Jane
Business card.
business cards to get by, so I can hand them out to folks. Oh, look, they changed colors.
Do they?
Mine do. Yeah, I got purple and that color.
Some of them are purple and some of them are other color.
Mm-hmm. Okay, apparently like 5 are purple. I know, it's a mix. Okay.
That dude's got a cool paper cutter.
Oh, I see what he did. Okay.
What?
They're alternating.
Every other one.
Like every other It's 5.
Every other 5.
Yeah.
That's how the paper folded.
Yes.
How you stack the paper. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I was trying to put on there GM, sales, program manager, janitor.
Yeah.
All of it.
Yeah.
Slacking on the janitor side of life.
That's funny.
All right, people. What's up, everybody? I know we got a little lackadaisical there for a second. We was doing business. I wonder if I could do this like a 50-car pickup.
That is funny. You know one?
Yeah. The Landy and the Jeff and Landy morning show. I don't know. I find myself hilarious.
Do you?
Sometimes.
I think it's pretty funny.
Sometimes I say I'm a dumbass.
I think it's pretty funny.
I think it is too. Did you show the people?
Oh yeah.
You show them your business. Yeah, we're going to the award ceremony, so we need business cards. Hold on, I'll tell you where you're at. Let's see here. Get a little closer with it. A little closer. Keep going, keep going, keep going. All right, let it focus. Which it's not going to do. Anyway, for y'all that can't read it, it says the Landy in the Jeff and Landy morning show is what his card says as the description of who he is.
I don't have a.
There we go. Damn, I'm all thick with all the cash I got. Shoot.
What happened to the?
Oh, it's missing a battery. Found out today. So I want to go use it. Where the hell that battery went?
I don't have a battery on my phone. My phone's dead. I was going to put a light on it.
Charge your phone.
See a light. See if I don't turn the light on. See if this works.
Let it focus for a second. Yeah, it's just not. It's too close. It's not going to be able to focus. Yep.
That it?
No, it's still a little rough. He just can't. I don't think he can get it. Nah, he ain't gonna be able to get it, man. But anyway. Oh, that's it right there. There it is, folks.
I will be selling business cards for $1 a piece.
There you go.
Collectibles. So
Collectibles. You'll even sign the back of them.
Yep.
That way, when we're cancel cultured or we're national treasures, one or the other,
Yeah, national treasures.
they'll be worth something.
National treasures. Yeah. Only way
You want to put
be
your
a
phone on a
national.
charger?
Only way would be a national treasure is when we're buried and they put a tombstone in front of us.
We'll just be.
Dribbling idiot
Didn't realize you could.
buried here.
What was it? How tall? Or yeah, if they're gonna bury his ass up.
That's right. So everybody can kick. Never mind. Oh,
Well, what's going on, folks? What do we know? Anybody?
Yeah.
Anybody impressed by the business cards? Come on, y'all. Hey, I do want to say a big shout out to Steve Gray, man. He comes out, hangs out with
You
us.
bet.
That was last minute. I think I asked him day before yesterday if he could. I was thinking about it. And I was like, holy crap, I don't have any cards. I was like, we really need. The whole point of this is to go out there, win that damn award, and network a little bit.
That's right.
You know, get to know people, get our name out there.
Right.
And I didn't want to put your number out there, so I put just carry you in.
That's fine.
But because I was going to surprise you, and I didn't want to. Hey, we're going to put your number on the card. So anyway,
But it's funny though.
Anyway, and so I was like, shoot, I don't need damn business cards.
Yeah.
You know, and so I was like, you just do cheap, quick, and in a hurry.
Yeah.
So there we go. And anything we know about Steve, he can do it in a hurry. And he's cheap and quick.
Yep.
So anywho, Janie says she's fixing to mow. Good. I don't know if I need to. My grass isn't growing. Your grass growing? No, it's not.
Got winter grass growing
Do you?
and
The
weeds.
brown stuff?
Yeah, winter grass and weeds.
Winter grass and weeds.
Yeah, I'm fixing to give it what for though. Once it gets over 70 degrees, I'm fixing to give it.
Fixing to drop it on it.
That's right. It's got to be above 70 degrees for some of those pesticides, or what do you call them? Herbicides.
Herbicides to work.
Yeah. So there's that.
Hey, did y'all also know that today is National Sloppy Joe Day?
What?
Speaking of that,
Yeah,
dude,
buddy.
I made barbecue chicken pizza last night. I had one because we were trying to figure out something.
You made the pizza dough yourself again?
We were trying to figure out what to eat for dinner, and I'm like, you know what? Homemade pizza is obviously not the healthiest thing in the world, but I was like, but it's actually healthier than like Pizza Hut pizza.
Yeah.
In regards to calorie intake. You know, I looked at the bag, and she's like, how much? I said, this bag of dough by itself, mind you, is 600 calories for one crust.
The whole thing.
The whole thing. Just the bag, just the crust.
Mm-hmm.
I said, and we acted. And I was like, and I got 8 chicken breasts. I thawed it out because that's all I had left. You know, I grilled it and chopped it up, and then I put it, and I did the crust and everything, and I did the barbecue sauce, not a lot, and then the chicken and the cheese and all that good stuff. I mean, so that's going to add up a little bit. But then we both had, there was 8 pieces. We had 3 between us, or she had 3 and I had 3. Again, not the greatest thing in the world, but you know, when I come in the door with only like 400 calories in my system from the day because of what I have for lunch and breakfast, and that's not horrible. You know? Anyway, but the best part was, damn, it was good, bro.
I'm telling you.
It is so good. I even did the thing where I spun it and I put the sauce a little bit on the top and it spiraled it. I know it looked all fancy.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you can't move tomorrow, exactly. So you go back tomorrow for a 12-hour shift, huh?
In the top of
Inter-educating my engineer.
I don't think there's a couple of them right in here, but I don't think they go anywhere. Okay. Because they don't. And I noticed that this ground, this system right here.
I know he can't help himself. You gotta get part of that out there.
And I twisted it to that ground.
You know that he got to get out there and talk to them folks. Anyway, a barbecue chicken pizza. So I figured out when I open up my business, I'm gonna call it Cockadoodle Q Pizza.
Cockadoodle Q.
Yeah, I feel like barbecue pizza is gonna be called the Cockadoodle Q
Cockadoodle Q.
instead of the bar. Get it? Cockadoodle do. Cockadoodle barbecue. Cockadoodle barbecue.
Cockadoodle barbecue.
Actually, I don't know if that's gonna be the case, but I just thought we'll get there one day. Think of the trash in the yard that people have thrown out. Dude, where did that go? Where were we at? Oh, it was Abilene. We went to Abilene this last weekend, and we were walking in front of Burlington, they have Burlington Coat Factory, and there's another store right there. Academy?
Yeah.
Academy, like Burlington Coat, behind the Olive Garden in there
Right.
in Abilene. And it looked like the ghetto. They had leaves and trash just stacked up against the walls, the curbs, and the street. It was ridiculous.
From the wind blowing.
I guess, but yeah, it was bad. And I get it. It's Saturday. Nobody's working on Saturday to maintain it.
Right.
So I understand it. But it looked horrible, though. You know?
There's a place in San Angelo. It's out there by the mall. It's actually in the mall or on the outside of the mall. When the wind blows in a certain direction, and I'm talking about the wind really blows.
Yeah.
The way the building's built, the walls and the angle of the walls, it traps air and it goes in a circle.
Yeah, so you just collect everything in that corner.
Dude, when you walk by there late in the evening, there'd be a pile of trash, 4 or 5 foot tall, looks like a Christmas tree, and it's all spun together.
It's already there, ready to pick up.
Ready to pick up. Yeah, you just roll over and get a trash bag, go scooping it up.
Yeah, Janie, it is awful, you know? And shoot, I've got trash out here that
Blows through.
ain't ours. And
Yeah.
there's trash on my dumpster that people, I guess, threw a bag in there once and didn't
Get
clean
it
it
all
all
in
up.
there?
Yeah, and they didn't even bother.
Yeah.
Look, I ain't mad at you. All right, use my damn trash can, whatever. It is what it is. But damn it, at least put
Get
the
it in the
trash
trash can.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least be courteous enough to get it in the
I mean, I
trash
know
can.
people get mad and they get upset about the dumpsters and everything, and I get that. But what is it legally though? The dumpster's fair game. Yours, you have a roll in, roll out, right?
Mhm.
Yours ain't.
Right.
Yours isn't public.
Actually, our dumpster that's in our neighborhood is for a group of houses.
Because y'all pay extra for it, right?
Right.
That's the catch. People don't understand that about dumpsters.
And if they catch you putting trash in your dumpster, you can be charged a month's rent.
Because it is a independent, separate dumpster that is not
Right.
included in your water bill.
Right.
Like the ones down the alleys, let's say on between 4th, 5th, and 6th Street,
Yeah.
that's different. A lot of those obviously are just placed there.
You know, they are on our water bill.
But they're on our water bill, which means you can use them. But
We can use
yours and other folks who have the roll ones and the ones who have paid extra to have like a large capacity dumpster,
Right.
you can't use those as a community. Only the ones who paid for them can use them.
Right. And you can be fined
Yes.
for using somebody else's dumpster.
I've seen on the internet people they got all kinds of butthurt about it. I'm like, well, that's the truth though. You're not paying
You're not
on
paying
this.
for that. Why should you be able to
You can't
use it?
So they can't find a trash can. Dirty diapers are the worst. Yeah, where the hell you live? That's crazy. Dirty diapers, that's ridiculous. I don't understand people, man.
They're nasty.
Just courtesy. You
Their
know?
lack of courtesy. I wonder what their house looks like.
You can imagine, because I mean,
Yeah.
if they're that trashed out,
If you're that trashy, what's your house look like?
they had a room. That's what it is.
We're back.
All right, welcome back. It is 9:11 in the a.m. Hanging out with Jeff and Landy. It is the Jeff and Landy Morning Show, being brought to you by Ballinger Home Health and Hospice. Here it is. Here is your health moment, health update of the day, coming to you from us, the healthiest people in the area.
That's right.
Because nobody
Knows health like us.
Nobody knows health like a 6 foot, 285-pound DJ. Healthy. Anyway, all right. Now let me ask you this: you don't do organic? Do you try to do organic?
Man, I eat everything.
Right. It don't
I'm
matter.
talking about
Covered in pesticides and shoved down my throat.
I eat salads and okra and grits and taters and Brussels sprouts, and I eat all kinds of stuff.
So something
Carrots.
or some group or whatever called the Environmental Working Group,
Uh-huh.
they put out a list each year called the Dirty Dozen. Or basically what it is the 12 fruits and vegetables that tend to be covered in the most pesticides.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, with you saying that, I want people to understand some areas use more pesticides than other areas.
Yes, I am not isolating this to
So,
any location.
When they tell you a fruit or a vegetable that is covered in pesticides, they may just mean from one area.
and I will
but
tell
and
you
they're
this much.
And they're not telling you what area that's from.
The list is the top three.
Yeah.
Is pretty shocking if you think about it. Well, number 3 and 2
What's
are
that?
pretty shocking. But I'll give you the top 12, the Dirty Dozen. All right, number 12, celery. They say the cleanest options are avocados. Or I'll give you that in a second. But celery is number 12. Tomatoes, number 11. Bell peppers or hot peppers is tied for number 10. Number 9, pears. Number 8, peaches. 7, cherries. 6 is grapes. 5 is apples. 4 is nectarines. Here's where it gets interesting. Number 3, kale.
Kale.
You know the health food kale?
Yeah.
Yeah. Number 2, spinach.
It's that big green leafy
It's got to be, both of them are both leafy, right?
Yeah,
So it's got to be.
Yeah, they're just trying to keep the grasshoppers on.
Number 1, strawberries. And they're
Strawberries.
number 1 for the 6th year in a row.
Strawberries.
Maybe it's because they offer, I don't know, immediate sweetness. There's no breaking into it. I don't know.
Oh,
That's got leafy on it too.
I don't know.
Who knows?
Maybe they got to keep them sprayed to keep the aphids off of them.
Maybe.
But here's another interesting thing. When they're talking about spraying groceries,
Mm-hmm.
spraying food like that, they have all kinds of oh, dadgummit, it's called a pesticide,
Mm-hmm.
but it doesn't have any poison in it. It's like a soap pesticide.
Okay.
And what happens is when they spray it, the pests, the insects, get it on them, and what happens is it breaks down the natural oil on the insects, so that oil they can't keep water off of them. And insects have holes in the side of them. They don't, where their lungs are, where they breathe through. And once that natural oil gets off of them, that moisture can get in them holes.
Sure.
And it drowns them.
Well, I mean, now they say, I mean, that's probably a good option.
Yeah.
Almost like a chrysanthemum oil, whatever that is. But they say, yeah, I can't say that word. It's the flower. But they say the cleanest options are avocados,
Yeah.
corn,
Yeah.
pineapples,
Mm.
onions, and papayas, or just buy organic,
Yeah.
which will cost you more.
Yeah.
You know, and
Because they have more loss.
exactly because they can't
due to
maintain them.
insects.
That's how it works.
Right.
So there you go. In case you're wondering what the dirty dozen were for this year in regards to the fruits and vegetables with the most pesticides, there you are.
Right.
Now let's switch gears and look at a little bit for the work environment. You know, and we want to show you, we're here to help you.
Mhm.
It's hard enough, I know, getting through the first 2 hours of work having to listen to us.
That's
I
right.
get it.
Right.
All right. Now, we're going to give you, to counterbalance that, we're going to give you the key to getting through a work day.
This is the key.
And here it is.
It's going to unlock your work.
And your
day.
bosses are going to love it. They're going to love it. Take more breaks.
Yeah. Okay, whatever.
Bro, when I break, I break.
Yeah.
Like, you look, I got shoes on right now.
Yeah.
If I'm chilling, you know. So a new study from North Carolina State University found you'll have more energy and actually be better at your job if you start taking micro breaks, which are about 5 minutes apiece.
Mm-hmm.
Quote, they say it's in the company's best interest to give employees autonomy in terms of taking micro breaks when they're needed. So start taking a lot of 5-minute breaks. If you get called out by your boss, say you're slacking off for the betterment of the company. Yeah, that probably won't work. But listen,
That probably
what
won't
are the
work.
rules?
Yeah, well, here's
What are the rules?
What the rules?
15
what,
every
15 minutes in every 4 hours?
Yeah.
Okay.
Break it up.
Yeah. Take 5 here, 5 there, and 5 later.
You know what?
And really and truly, if you're working and you're doing manual labor,
you ain't gonna tire out.
you know,
No, you will, but
right. 5-minute break when you get to just let your body have a break from whatever it's doing.
Yeah.
And go get a glass of water and kind of relax for a second or two before you get back muscled up in it.
yeah.
That does work better.
Or how about the 5-minute frustration break
Yeah.
where you stuck
Yeah.
and you can't figure it out?
Yeah.
You've got to walk away from it before you take a wrench to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you
Been
walk
there.
over there and you have a hammer in your hand. You walk over to the water fountain and get you a glass of water. And they say, "Why are you over here at the water fountain with this hammer in your hand?" Well, if I don't come over here and get a water and chill out just a little bit, I'm going to take this hammer back over and work on that piece.
Just wear it
I'm
out.
fixing to work
Yeah,
on that.
We're going to break it nice and good.
That's right.
That way you got to call a contractor in to come fix it. I'm over it.
Yeah.
So take more breaks.
Yeah.
Just take you 5 minutes every so often. Now, what I always found fun, and I would do it if I was hanging out in the area, I would go take breaks with the smokers. Just because. They got breaks, right? So I was like, I'm going to take me a break. You smoke? Nope. If I'm going to chill, I'm going to chill as long as I take them to smoke their cigarette.
Yeah.
Yeah, then we'll go back to work. So, that just depends if I was in the area.
Yeah.
I would do that just to be spiteful
Just to
sometimes.
be aggravating.
Yeah, just to be aggravating.
Yeah.
All right. Now, I mean, let's switch gears. Let's go to the management side of life.
Uh-huh.
All right. Have you, Landy, and we talked a little bit about it at the 8 o'clock hour, ever had somebody quit on you and you're just mad at them?
I'm mad at them because they
Because
quit.
they quit on you.
Well, I've had people quit on me before, but I never was really mad at them
Yeah.
because that's their deal.
That's
But don't
time for them to go.
but don't come back and ask for this job back.
There you go. If you just quit on me.
Yeah.
And there's probably a lot, and you hear about a lot of the people who are rage quitting jobs.
Right.
You know, you don't usually hear about a company, though, raging over someone who quit and then seeking revenge on said person. A guy named Andreas, he gave his 2-week notice back in November out there in Georgia. He worked for Walker Luxury Auto Works. Not familiar with it because it's in Georgia. So there's that. And he says the owner got so upset, he put his hands on his head, walked out, and disappeared for an hour. The owner did.
At him quitting?
Mm-hmm.
Wonder why he quit.
Don't know yet, but the company still owed him, Andreas, about $915. And they never sent it to him.
Uh-oh.
He wound up calling the Georgia Department of Labor to complain.
Right.
He had a valid complaint. And the company finally delivered his paycheck on Friday.
Good deal.
This last Friday.
Yeah.
By dumping 500 pounds of pennies covered in oil on his driveway with a note and some they pretty much told him what he can go do.
Do you know that's actually a payment?
Now, I know this is shocking, but apparently Andreas, he quit his job because it was a toxic work environment. Whatever would he mean?
Yeah.
So apparently that's accurate.
Wow.
He shoveled the pennies into his garage and he's working on cleaning the oil off of them so he can cash them in. It's legitimate. This is real. 500 pounds of pennies. Wow. Dumped on his front driveway as $915 of a paycheck. I mean, they paid the bill. And
$915?
$915 in pennies.
That's 91,500 pennies.
And apparently that's about 500 pounds of pennies. And they just poured oil all over them. I'm assuming they had oil handy, so they poured oil all over them. Just to add insult to injury.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you what, though. If I was him, I'd be accounting full because there ain't one single penny made to that driveway. I'd be like, where to go? You owe me some money.
Give me my dad.
Anyway,
Hey, you 4 cents short on this, boss.
that's just ridiculous. I mean,
Yeah,
you're an employer.
What does that speaks volumes of somebody you would want to go to work
That's
for.
that moment where you realize that there are people out there who have successful careers in their own businesses and are idiots. And it makes you go, oh my gosh, I could totally do that job. But this idiot can do it. This guy who obviously has no patience for anything.
Well, and there's always that question: why did he quit?
Why did he quit?
Yeah,
He quit in a toxic work environment.
I've had people quit on me, and I want to know why, because I don't. If it's something that I did
Right.
personally, or something in the work policy that needed to be addressed, because you always want yourself better than you were yesterday.
Of course.
And that's the main goal.
You ain't learning, you ain't living.
I want to be better today than I was yesterday. So ultimately, if you can't better yourself or better your job or better your work environment to get better, more productive employees, it's all about production. So.
I mean, there you go. And so, but you have to work. That's the other side of life, though. It's not, you have to work because you gotta have that. You gotta have these first world problems. You ever heard that term, first world problems?
First world.
Yeah, it's like I was going to call you.
I don't know where that world is, but okay.
But my cellular phone died, or I'm so mad because none of my wireless headphones are charged right now.
Right.
Yeah, that's a first world problem, bro. Can't even watch Netflix because my internet's down. Well, at least you have both of those.
Yeah.
That's a first world problem. So, and trust me, there are real problems everywhere else.
Yeah.
Across the world. But not everyone has had, I guess, some of those real problems. Some people's biggest problems have been what this new survey asked, what their first world problems that they've had during the pandemic might be. All right, they gave them a top 10. Netflix freezing or taking a long time to load. That's a first world problem.
I've heard people say that was an issue.
Long delays when you get food delivered.
I've heard people say that too.
Not being able to wear the most of the clothes in your closet.
Because you're swole up from eating.
Got the quarantine fitting.
Yeah, got the quarantine fitting.
Figuring out what you want to eat for every meal. Yeah, that's That's a tough one. That's a first world problem because there's some folks who know what they're going to eat. Probably rice.
Everything they can get their hands on.
Someone else didn't change the toilet paper roll when they used it up.
Mm-hmm.
That's a marriage problem.
I'll tell you what, yeah. That right there will get you whooped if you run your mouth too hard.
How about this is a first world problem? Your packages arriving late.
Yeah, that's
from the Amazon.
Well, yeah.
Waking up and not sure what day it is. Never really done that.
Never really cared about that.
Not being able to hear or understand people when they talk with a mask on.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a situation.
Number 2, this is a first world problem. Your glasses fogging up when you have a mask on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been there. And finally, the number 1, according to this survey, first world problem, which is not really a real problem. They're just kind of, we make them a problem. Bad weather when you want to go for a walk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really a first world problem.
That's a big problem. And there's people who,
I'll tell you something.
all the time.
To me that they went in there to watch TV. It's kind of off. And
Yeah.
Sunday afternoon, didn't really have nothing to do, so I was going to go in and watch TV. And Jack was off shopping somewhere, going to a garage sale or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And I decided that ain't nothing on TV, ain't nothing to watch, so it's nice outside. I'm going to just go out there and sit in the lawn chair, right? So I go outside, sit in the lawn chair, prop my feet up. Next thing I know, it's an hour and a half later. I done had sunshine done put me to sleep. I got a sunburn.
Now you know how them cats feel in them
Man.
dogs. They go out there and they sun.
Yeah.
They just loving life.
Oh, but then they roll over and sun on the other side.
Uh-huh.
I was stuck in a chair and couldn't roll over.
Couldn't do it. You got sunburn on you, didn't you?
Man. Next time I go out there, I'm going to put it down on concrete.
Yeah, that way you ain't got to worry about it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, speaking of doing things you used to do back in the day, I don't know if that really works with that.
Mm-hmm.
We got a new little segment on here, and what we're going to do is we're going to tell you a story and call it's the retro.
Mm-hmm.
This happened. This was way back when. Way back when. 31 years ago, on March 18th, 1990. Where were you on March 18th, 1990, Landy? 31 years ago.
San Angelo.
The largest art heist in the history of the world actually went down in Boston.
What?
Now, this sounds like something straight out of a movie. At 1:24 a.m. on March 18th, as a St. Patrick's Day crowd stumbled around the streets of Boston, 2 fake cops showed up at the city's Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum.
Mm-hmm.
They duct taped and handcuffed the 2 guards and embarked on a massive smash and grab. They stole roughly $500 worth of art, but in an absurd way. They left the museum's most valuable pieces of artwork, but stole candy bars out of the vending machine.
Wait a minute. These 2 fake cops tied up security guys, okay, to steal candy bars out of a candy machine.
And art.
And art.
Doc, they left some of the most valuable pieces there, but the combined price of the other pieces
was $500.
Was $500 million worth of art.
You left the M off.
Okay. When it was all over, it ended up being the biggest art heist in history, and the largest private property and the largest private property theft as well.
Wow.
The criminals this crime continues to hold both distinctions as of today, 31 years later. Now, who did it?
Who done it?
2013, the FBI essentially confirmed the top public theory that one of Boston's organized crime gangs was behind the robbery. Seems to make sense, right? Irish mob. The wheelman for the head of one of the organizations stole the art as a bargaining chip to spring his boss, who was locked up on racketeering charges at the time. Shockingly enough,
doesn't make any sense.
the plan didn't work.
Imagine that.
The statute of limitations on prosecuting the crime ended in 1995, but the suspected perpetrator was murdered in 1991, so no one ever really faced prosecution. The art, still missing to this day.
It ain't missing. Somebody got it in their living room.
And the Gardner Museum still has the stolen paintings' empty frames on its walls, eternally waiting for their return. You want to hear my theory?
I think it's an inside job.
Inside job, they stole minimal artwork.
Mm-hmm.
That way, when it is resold, it's not, oh my gosh, I just got a Van Gogh first edition or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I got a lesser known, I got a Jeff Smith
Mm-hmm.
fresh out of kindergarten painting.
Yeah.
Not worth a lot, but you know, you sell one of them and you sell 200 more just like it.
Mm-hmm.
Price on them,
Mm-hmm.
you know. I think it was stolen in small quantities so they could traffic it easier. That's what I think.
Or lesser known art.
Lesser known, so again, like it, so it won't raise the Interpol flag
Right.
when it's being sold.
It could be easier to be fenced.
Come from a pawn shop guy, come from a guy like me. I
Yeah.
feel like that's probably what happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, but and
You don't steal Picasso's Fifth and expect to sell it.
yeah, you don't see. You're not going to take Starry Night, the original,
Yeah.
and hand it up and say, "Who wants it?"
Yeah.
It's
let's
gonna
put
get
this on
noticed.
auction. Yeah.
It's going to get noticed.
Yeah.
So there you go. In case you
It probably got eBay. It could have even gone on eBay unnoticed.
well, 1990, but yes,
Yeah.
yeah, because I mean, you just heck, you could call it a reproduction and still
Yeah.
make bank off of it and fly under the radar.
right. You
Yeah,
could call
'cause-
it a reproduction, and there wasn't any reproductions.
Exactly.
And people that know that there wasn't any reproductions, and you calling it a reproduction, they'd be thinking, "Ooh, I'm going to get a deal on
I've
the
got
real."
a deal. Have a deal. All right, now speaking of criminals, those were intelligent criminals.
Yeah.
I say that because nobody's been prosecuted and are still missing.
Right. Somebody got shot.
Yeah, that's what happens. All right. How about this one? This one probably can file under what goes around comes around.
Uh-huh.
Remember that big wheel that
Karma.
spins?
Ooh, that girl's tough.
A 21-year-old girl in Maryland, or a guy in Maryland, or whatever they are, Shamari, was
Mhm.
driving around with a friend in a stolen SUV last week.
Oh, that's smart.
Because ride or die, buddy.
Two people smart.
Well, they actually decided to do a good deed
Huh?
for a change. They spotted a random guy on the side of the road changing a flat. So they pulled over
To help him.
to help him. Yes, right? Sounds
Sure.
good. I mean, you're a car thief, but you're a car thief with a heart of gold.
That's right.
But then while they were helping him, that guy jumped in their SUV and tried to steal their already stolen car. What's
Okay.
going on in Maryland? Anyway, he threw it in reverse and tried to drive off, but he slammed into a curb and got stuck. I don't know what kind of SUV you're driving, but the fact you got stuck on a curb,
Yeah, that
maybe
ain't
it was a retaining wall.
that.
I don't know if it was a curb. I mean,
SUV
I'd rather-
stuck on a curb.
if I was that guy who tried to steal the SUV the second time and got stuck on the curb, I would write a very strongly worded letter to Ford about the ineptitude of the Explorer to get over a curb.
Explorer, yeah.
Anyway, the flat tire guy is a guy who's 19. His name is Tackle. He ended up pulling a gun on the guys, but threw it in the woods before the cops got there. Turned out the car he had been driving was stolen, and both men had active warrants out. Now, they're all facing a whole bunch of fresh charges.
Oh yeah, and they're sharing a cell.
Could you, what's the luck?
Yeah,
What
I
is the-
mean, how ironic is that?
Yeah. That you're trying, they actually pull over because they are car thieves with hearts of gold. This is the last job they're going to pull, Landy. They're going to go straight after this and provide for their families at the factory.
Right. Keep believing that, dude.
Yeah. All right. Now let's move over to Alabama.
All right.
As with these stories, we're never quite sure why these folks actually wind up running around naked. Right? A lot of times we don't know how it starts.
Yeah, we don't even want to go
We
there.
just know how it finishes.
Yeah.
But he did what most of us would probably do in this kind of situation.
Uh-huh.
Now, this was in Limestone County, Alabama.
Okay.
He got the cops there got a call about 3 a.m.
Nothing good happens after midnight.
No, it does not.
Especially at 3.
This happened on Tuesday.
Oof.
About a naked man breaking into a car. The naked man turned out to be a 33-year-old man named Joseph.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason he broke into the car was he noticed there was some clothes inside. Well, he's naked.
Mm-hmm.
Necessity of invention, what is it?
Necessity is the mother of
Invention or theft. I don't know.
Theft, yeah.
Then he tried to break into a house, but couldn't get in. When the cops got there, they found Joseph walking down the street, wearing the stolen clothes out of the car.
Huh.
He was arrested for burglary, attempted burglary, unlawful breaking and entering of a vehicle, as well as public lewdness for being butt naked. Again,
I don't even want to know what got him to that state.
that's what I'm saying. We never really know why they end up naked.
But you know, I don't know what he got him to that state. But whatever it was that got him to that state, they need to have one of them little warning signs on it.
Yeah, you will run around naked.
You will run around naked and break into cars trying to steal clothes and then try to break into somebody's house.
White people only.
Yeah.
Because white people do the crazy ones. Nah, for real. White people are the crazy ones in the group.
Yeah.
You know, you ever hear that story? Look, murder somebody. You know, regular crime. Murder somebody. Chop them up in little pieces. Put them in Ziploc bags. You know, air freeze them or flash freeze them. Keep them in the freezer for 14 hours. You know, white person crime. Because people are crazy. White people are crazy, dude. Serial killers. White people. All right? Let's not play.
Manson.
Yeah. White person.
White guy.
Just saying, dude. White people do the crazy crimes.
Yeah.
You know, they'll live with your dead body for 6 months and paint you.
Yeah.
All right, I've seen them on TV. White people are nuts. All right, let's do some good news. Finish up today with some good news. Some good news out of Florida, actually. This happened in Marathon. They had a breakfast. A group of people at a marathon in Marathon, Florida, had a breakfast at a place called Castaway Restaurant.
Right.
Well, they ran up $193 bill. Bro, that's a restaurant. That's a bill.
That's a breakfast.
That's a breakfast right there.
That is a breakfast.
They tipped the staff $10,000.
How cool
A
is
total
that?
of 14 employees actually split it. That's about $700 each, or half of your current stimulus money.
There you go.
All right. How about this one? Someone in North Carolina, they randomly found some World War II medals in a dumpster
What?
that belonged to a guy named Donald Helfer, who had passed away in 1993.
Wow.
And his kids obviously were thrilled to find out because they had no idea that their granddaddy or their dad was actually a war hero. He never talked about it.
Well, you know, that's another thing. Those guys that were in World War II, when they came back,
They went to work and did the thing.
they went to work. They didn't want to talk about
Hey,
it.
talk about what happened.
They didn't, because what happened was then.
Mm-hmm. We're moving forward, doing what we're doing now.
That's right.
He flew almost 30 flights into enemy territory
Wow.
and never talked about it, not one bit. Turned out he received a Bronze Star, a Flying Cross, and a personal thank you letter from President Truman.
Wow.
Never told anybody about it. Talking about some humbleness.
That's right.
I mean, a lot of folks right now, they like to post pictures of all kinds of crazy things.
Their
And
trophy, their participation trophy.
I was going to say something worse, but yes, stick with that.
Yeah.
On the internet, so they
Yeah.
can show everybody how great they are.
Yeah.
You
I
know?
participated.
That's why that's the greatest generation.
That's right.
All right, Massachusetts, where there was a cop. He found out a kid had to cancel 2 birthdays because of the pandemic.
Oh, man.
His 6th birthday last year and his 7th birthday this week. So the cop used his own money, and he actually bought him some birthday gifts because cops are evil.
Yeah.
And we need to remember
They
that.
need to be defunded. Yeah. Yeah. But,
Sarcasm.
you know, that's an unbelievable act of kindness right there.
He's probably a community cop, probably knows the kid's family.
Yeah.
You
And
know?
I tell you what, that's saying something for these community cops. You know, we've had police officers here that just put their lights on, pull over, and get out and play baseball with the kids,
Mhm.
or get out and play basketball,
Soccer or whatever
shoot.
they're doing.
Yeah, get out and play soccer with the kids.
Yeah.
You know, how cool is that? You know, them police officers right there, they'll go that extra mile
A
for
lot
you.
of them will. I mean, a majority of them are, but unfortunately, at this point in time in America, they're being judged by the ignorance of a few.
That's exactly right.
Because we seem to forget that a lot of officers are human.
Right.
You know, and something we'll talk about a little bit further tomorrow, or maybe even in the
Right.
next week once I do a little more research on it. They're trying to pass a rule in California, by the way, for police officers. If they've ever taken a stance religiously or politically with conservative views,
Can't be a police
they
officer.
can't be a police officer in California. Isn't that ridiculous? We'll talk a little more about that next week. Now, on some final good news. A zoo in the Czech Republic realized its champions were lonely without people visiting. We've heard this story a lot,
Mhm.
actually,
Mhm.
about zoo animals who know there's dolphins, all
Mhm.
kinds of folks who know that people aren't showing up. And they've been kind of lonely since people weren't visiting the zoo. So they installed a giant video screen that shows chimps at other zoos running around, a little chimp TV,
Mhm.
chimpanzee TV,
That's right.
or Zoom meetings for chimps.
Zoom meetings
You know,
for chimps.
as it turns
There you
out, they love it. They will sit in front of it for hours
go. Right.
and watch other ones run around and play.
Right.
That's crazy.
That's cool.
They're pretty human.
Yeah.
You know,
It's kind of like us sitting around watching each other run around and play.
yeah, like a bunch of idiots.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. It is 9:40 in the a.m. That's going to do it for us. You've been listening to the Jeff and Landy Morning Show. Being brought to you by Balance Your Home Health and a Hospice. Beautiful day. 67 degrees outside, man.
It is
A little
beautiful
windy
day.
out of the north, but
That's
it's
right.
going to be a beautiful day. Beautiful day tomorrow. Those winds out of the north will stay, but they'll drop down in wind velocity.
Right.
So there you
Sound like
go.
a plan.
That's going to do it. Landy, got anything else, man?
Yeah, have a wonderful day. Y'all be careful of the wind. You know, if you're picking up a piece of tin,
You'll be Mary Popping it.
make sure if you pick up a piece of tin, you have the leather gloves on.
Oof.
Because that tin blowing out of your hands is going to cut somebody.
Yeah, it is.
Be careful.
All right, then. Y'all have a great rest of your Thursday. We'll holler at you guys tomorrow.
That's
Bye-bye.
right. Bye, y'all.
All right, Facebook.
Hey, Facebook, thank y'all for watching us today. We really, really appreciate it. Oh, sorry for the radio stuff, but that's something we got to deal with.